Welcome back. Traveling abroad for healthcare is no longer a thing of only public officials and the affluent, but now a routine for all, given to the poor condition of Nigeria's health sector. We're all too familiar with the cases of deaths, misdiagnosis, and negligence of medical personnel in the health industry. How do we revamp Nigeria's health sector so to reduce people from going for medical care abroad? Now, what are your thoughts on it, actually? Because we're not experts. We're just discussing this new trend. I mean, it's not a trend. It's been on for a while. Since God knows when, all our leaders, whenever they cough, they have to travel abroad anyway. So we're just discussing it because it's been trending. People have been talking about our president, although they've told us that it's actually, he's not ill. He's just going for a 10-day break. While during the break, he will go and see a specialist. Anyway, you can join this conversation by calling 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets immediately. Now, I know yesterday you guys mentioned it briefly, and we were pinned on something that we voted you in, yes, we believe in you, we trust in you, and we don't want you to be the same of the same. That's what we're used to. But we expect that you're different, and by doing this, you're sending the wrong signal, which I got from yesterday's conversation. But regardless of what we're saying, it's still happening. People say, YK, she falls ill today. She's not like
I'm not going to London. No.
YK.
No, it's true. My brother just had the opportunity to have it here.
Okay.
We don't even have that kind of money. I have to be very sincere.
The Commonwealth.
My sister died. She was treated here and killed here.
Okay, all right. Let's check it that we're all on the same page.
The Vice President of the Commonwealth.
On the same page.
The Vice President of the Commonwealth Medical Association, CMA, Dr. Osaho Enabuli, made a statement faulting the president for the move, saying that the president is contravening a federal government's ban on foreign medical trip. You know, we all here, when we read about the ban a few months ago, we were all happy that this is a good move.
Finally.
And the ban stated in Section 47 of the National Health Act, which seeks to address the abuse of taxpayers' resources through frivolous foreign medical trips. Now, we can't call this a frivolous medical trip because we don't know the extent of the damage to his ears. However, the statement from the press secretary was that he's not ill.
Exactly.
And I watched him speak yesterday, saying in Hausa that, is there anybody that does not fall sick? So he's saying that he's okay. He just wants to get his ear rechecked. And also, the statement from the Commonwealth Medical Association stated that they have over 250 trained ENT specialists in Nigeria. And that the president could easily have flown in other ENT specialists that are Nigerians that are doing very well in diaspora. But why would he now make it look like the number one citizen of Nigeria is going to treat an ear infection?
He's not, listen, let's not mix it. He's not going to treat. He's going for a holiday break. 10 days. While he's breaking, he's going to stop at the hospital. Hi, Oga, please. Just let me just do a quick check.
What he said was that is there anybody that does not fall sick?
Well.
And also, the public, I'm just bringing out the facts. Femi Adesina mentioned the fact that since 1 year in government, he's only taken 5-day break in January. And this is his second time taking a 10-day break. And that is cumulative 15. An average worker in Nigeria should get 30 a month break. So he's only taking 15 days out of his 1 year in government. I'm just stating the facts as available.
Your thoughts on our president traveling abroad and stopping by to check his ears?
Why you? Now, like I said yesterday, because people were saying that it's like I don't understand the gravity. Some medical doctors were attacking me. I don't understand the gravity of what's it called, ear infection. It's not like I do not understand that. You had 2 consultants check, and they're saying, okay, get a third opinion rather, because since 2 people have checked, I'm fine with that. But if we say we want to breed change, I think change starts from us. I read online yesterday, 2/3 of children, before they turn 1, go through that what's it called, ENT matter.
Yes.
So are they dying? Do they have to go to the UK?
This one is 75.
Hold on. Let me finish. Do they have to go to the UK to get a second opinion? Now, if we continue this trend,
second or third?
Third opinion rather. If we continue this trend that every time we fall ill, we go abroad, we will never get our medical sector fixed. Now, what we should focus on as Nigerians is to take pride to say that we have built our medical sector, that people abroad wish to come to Nigeria to solve certain problems. I mean, you are the same person that says, oh, you are a man of integrity, you are a man of this, and you hold. I see President Buhari like someone that truly wants Nigeria to grow and move forward. And in that bit, you must learn to sacrifice. Where did Mandela die, for goodness sake?
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
So I'm saying that even when they go abroad, Murayo, it's not like they are going to go and see any, maybe the doctor that visits the Queen. They are seeing regular doctors because those people have taken the pain to make sure that every hospital can treat anything.
Okay, let's be fair, because the truth is that because they're mentioning something about using state resources. Now, he's not going specifically for a medical treatment. If he was going, maybe that he's been carried there or is going for some such surgical treatment, we know that he's using state funds. But part of his earned salary, he can actually stop by. Well, I'm saying, what if that's a possibility?
Can we specify it?
I'm just saying that I'm just putting the options on the table. It's possible that he's going for a 10-day break, remember? Just a 10-day break.
No, I'm just telling you that it's part of the
earned salary to stop by and just get checked abroad. So you also assuming
let me finish. Okay, even if he wants to go for a holiday, what happened with revamping the tourism? What's it called? That is our economy.
Yes.
There is Ogudu. There is Igokosi, whatever. There are different places you can go and rest. Okay. You want to go on a holiday.
Point taking.
Why must you go on a holiday abroad? It means you are the same. There's no difference between you and others.
Point taking. Yes.
I want to mention the fact that one other thing that the Commonwealth, Dr. Enabule mentioned was the fact that if for any reason the equipment, we remember the budget that was assigned to the Aso Rock Hospital, and the budget was really, really high. Considering the amount, you wouldn't think, because I was trying to get the figure, but I can't get it. You wouldn't expect that the government would focus on buying equipment. If there was equipment, if it's an equipment deficit that makes them travel, then let's get the equipment here. Now, the life of the president is very, very important.
They have not implemented the budget yet.
No,
we don't have money. They don't have money.
Oh, they said they don't have money to fund everything. But if the president is representing the people and each of us, our lives are very, very important, then apart from we want to secure his own life as #1 citizen, he should also ensure that we also have equipment to take care of our own ear infections in Nigeria.
Okay, let me take this call from Dikpo. Dikpo from Ogudu, are you there?
Body can treat.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I'm interested in your topic. Can I continue, please? It's quite an interesting topic. We are here arguing about president's trip to a medical checkup abroad. Some time ago, it was discussed in the public media space that there is this ultra-modern hospital built at built by the former governor of
Akwa Ibom.
Akwa Ibom, yes.
All right, and it was at an event there that the governor, through the Commissioner of Health, spoke that they have yet world-class medical faculty in their state, but that they will want a partnership of the federal government. And in that meeting was Professor Isaac Adewale. He was there, including our Minister of Health, and he promised to support that state and that facility with human resources. In other words, qualified specialist doctors for that clinic, which they lack as of now.
Okay.
From that time, it's about 2 months now till now. We've not heard anything.
I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, he was running over. Thank you very much, Mr. Dikpo. I appreciate your comments.
He said.
Yes.
He said that the Uyo, the hospital that was built by the former governor, hasn't gotten enough hands, which are supposed to be supplied by the government. I want to mention something.
Can I just, because one of the things that we are losing here is doctors.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any doctor that graduates cannot stay here because there is nothing for him. There are no regulatory moves here to make sure that hospitals are in, because this government has been in power 1 year. It's enough time for you to say, okay, all hospitals come and register. All hospitals, start putting things in place. They can't do everything in 1 year. No. But they can actually start things in place, and we will see that, so even if our president gets up today to say, I have to go because we have not finished the work, everybody will say, very good.
Exactly.
Please go.
Maybe that's where we are.
Seeing that.
Maybe that's where we are. Let me take this call then.
Ebuka,
are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I miss YQ. Say her there, all right?
She's not here.
Yeah, I meet on your shows, all right?
Thank you. I'll try and come more often.
Yeah, come more often. Yeah, speaking about this trip and the foreign vacation to wherever it is, and the ear infection and doctors. You guys have raised the salient question here. Is it impossible to bring those doctors down to this country? That is one. Two, don't we have foreign vacation sites in this country? There's one thing the Benin lady was trying not to mention. If one is making a stand, he or she, that person stand on it. I will categorically say that this president is being hypocritical. It is banning foreign medical trip and all the old trip and all this trip and wants to revamp the economy of the country. You should be at the forefront.
So many places.
Okay, point taken. Thank you very much, Abuka. One second, let me let work.
Now, you see, if anybody has the right to talk about president, I think I have number one right, because I stayed 2 a.m. I did not sleep to count my votes. See, what we need to do right now, medical doctors abroad, they are well paid. I know how many medical doctors I have as friends that they are always writing exams because they want to relocate. We've had so many. If you go to to hospitals in America, top doctors are Nigerians.
We know
if Nigeria has the willpower, listen, instead of paying senators that amount of money, let them pay doctors and see if these doctors will not come back. You're not even showing any effort to boost the
Let me just say another thing.
Sector.
Another thing that was in the research that we read this morning or yesterday was that a lot of our doctors you are supposed to have, I think it says every 6 months exams,
yes,
recertification to make sure that you are on, because you know that medicine every day advances.
It's evolving.
It's evolving. But instead they will graduate, and it's that certificate that they collected in
1900
in 1960 that they will still be practicing.
Let's round up, because
that's why they can't our president's
we can't
ear.
finish this conversation until our
It's
president
not
comes.
about
Let
the
us see. But let's take a quick
Beyond about the president. It's beyond the president.
I
That's what I'm
understand that.
saying.
So unfortunately, we can't go further. That's the best we can do on this topic. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll move on to childhood obesity. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Still talking health. Childhood obesity is a condition where excess body fat negatively affects a child's health or her well-being. According to reports, 10% of children worldwide are either overweight or obese, and with more than 42 million overweight children around the world, childhood obesity is increasing worldwide. Joining us on the show is the professor of pediatrics and consultant pediatrician, Lagos State University, Dr. Fidelis Njokama. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
So before we delve into obesity, well, let me invite our viewers first. You can call us on 070-80668-014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so you can read your tweets. Now, before we delve into child obesity, you heard our hot topic concerning our president traveling abroad.
That's right.
What are your thoughts? I want to say one or two things on that.
Well, that you were on the right track when you spoke of revamping our health sector. We do that, we'll at least mitigate the instances of going abroad. I'm talking about the president, governors, and so on. In developed parts of the world, what they do is to develop the military hospitals.
Okay.
That is where the president should go, because that is where there is the maximum security. So if we take care of both the public and then the military side of things, I'm sure we should be okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right, now coming to childhood obesity.
Yes, please.
Now, they always tell us, especially here in Africa, your children are eating, let her eat, or let him eat, you know, and you're stuffing the children, thinking that the more you give them food, the better for them, it helps them, that they will burn it later with just baby fat. Now, where do we draw the line between Okay, I mean, maybe you should define obesity first.
Overfeeding.
Define obesity first before we now get to how do we define like between obesity and overfeeding, or be a child that is well fed, and then moving on to
child that is overfed. Before you even continue, it's a lot of these rich people that their children are overweight because it's
You'll
too
be
much
surprised.
food.
You'll be
Too
surprised.
much. Their food is excess. When you see their breakfast like
I think
pancake,
it's the junk.
this.
Okay, let's come to your definition, sir.
Well, obesity, simply put, is accumulation of excess body fat.
Okay.
That's the simple definition of
Yes.
obesity. And when you talk of excess body fat, the question is now, how do you measure body fat? There are many ways of doing it in the laboratory, in the hospital, and all that. There are scales that can tell you the amount of body fat a person has. There are equipment that you can pass somebody through, or special x-rays that can be done to measure body fat. Everybody, given age and sex, has expected amounts of body fat. It goes beyond that, it's excess. A little above that, we say it is overweight.
Okay.
Much above that, we say it's obesity.
So the question I was asking concerning children, like,
What do you
how
mean
do
by
you
that?
know how do you know you're overfeeding this child to the point of getting to obesity?
Overfeeding doesn't necessarily mean obesity.
Okay.
Obesity is a balance between what is eaten and how much is burnt. So eat much, burn much,
Okay.
no obesity.
Okay.
Eat averagely, burn very little, obesity.
So you
So
mean
it's-
you're linking it up to the sedentary lifestyle that a lot of children
Excellent,
have
ma.
these days, that they just eat and they eat more of junk and they don't go out to play.
That's right.
Oh.
Outside play is extremely important for children. While you and I may engage in exercise, not necessarily to become Olympians, children need to play, burn, sweat, come back sweating.
Yeah, a lot of schools, I've noticed that a lot of schools, you see,
building
there are just a lot of things wrong because they will build the school, then the whole thing will be building.
No compound.
Then the playground will not be more than this round place here.
How do they get approval
It's
for
crazy.
Well, I'm not in the
Yeah,
schools
it's-
board,
yeah.
but then there should still be an arrangement for children to go and play. Face it, it's the government schools that have
All the
wide
spaces,
spaces
yeah.
for play. Yes, some richer private schools do, but the majority, as you said,
You don't.
But can we make it a law? Like every school should have a standard size of a playground.
Before you start doing that, can't you at your own house go and get a house that has a
but
compound?
What I'm even saying, but some schools actually, because of activities like my children, they participate in karate. They participate in which other one again now? Okay, they do karate. And you know, karate, it's like, you know, you're
Exercise.
exerting body, you're moving and you're sweating and all that. So some other children go for swimming, some other children go for, so are those enough? Or they still need to go and run round big fields?
walking, swimming, climbing stairs, cycling. These are good exercises, both for children and adults. But for children, they need the outside play a lot more than we adults do.
Okay, I have a
Some
question.
yes.
What's the place of the genes? Some will tell you, my family, we are naturally fat.
yeah.
Even if we drink water,
Yes.
we will still be fat.
Yes.
What's the place of genes? In
Yeah, genes play a lot of roles here. You see, that's what I meant by eat little, burn. It's the genes that decide the rate at which you burn what you're taking. And then there are some genetic diseases that are, diseases this time, not just that are associated with excessive body fat. But generally speaking, you find two people, one eats much more than the other, but he doesn't get fat. The other one takes a little, just as you said, and gets fat.
I was just going to ask, is there anything that is risky? Are there any health risks to children? Because for an adult, you know that there are health risks. If you are overweight, maybe your heart can stop at any time. But with kids, do you think because
Do they have a better chance? Or?
they have a better chance at survival?
They don't have a better chance. In fact, if anything, it's probably worse. Why do I say so? An obese child becomes an obese adolescent, an obese adult and all that. The risks continue to mount. The heart diseases, the cancer risks, bone diseases, everything. So the children are not spared at all.
But in a situation whereby parents let children eat because they say, oh, they'll burn it, they're growing. And you see a child, he's really getting really, really big. And there's this assumption that he will burn the fat. Do they continue just assuming that he'll burn it at some point? And some actually
if
do,
he
and some
doesn't
don't.
burn it now, he won't burn it later.
No, but I've seen some children that they were really, really like plump while they were before becoming teenagers, and when they like hit 13 to 15, they just lose all the weight and come back looking.
May I reverse it? Why when they go to boarding houses?
Less
of
food,
course, because
more
there's less, more work and all that. But I have a someone that I know. She was. Then she was in her primary school. She was really, really, chubby. But I would see the mom take her around the estate, work and all that. But recently I saw her, I could not recognize because she was looking like a full-blown adult. And I know that she's still in secondary school. She's really big. So for the people that are like exercising, they are doing all those things and yet it's not, listen, do you advise that they do surgery or something? How would they, manage it? Because her own case, she's been, because I see her, they would take her around making efforts, she would jog and all, but nothing.
What do you
Well,
think?
it may not necessarily be the food. It may be one of those genetic disorders in which the person continues to get bigger and bigger. Surgery might not even solve it, but let me point out here that as a pediatrician, we do not advocate surgery for children. Okay. We don't want them taking drugs. We don't want liposuction. We don't want any of those. As long as it's the regular imbalance between eating and burning, we emphasized proper lifestyle. We emphasize controlled eating. Yes. We don't like skipped meals. Children must eat. There has to be control. What they eat must be controlled in terms of volume, in terms of quality. Somebody mentioned junk food earlier. We want to avoid those. Sweetened drinks and all that, we want to keep away from them. Then staying by the television, playing video games from morning till night, not exercising, that's not good for them. So when we've gone through all that routine, and besides, it doesn't work in just one day. It's a continuous exercise. Effort has to be put in. The family has to support the child in doing so. If we fail, then we can now fall back to other things. But in the first instance, not even in the second instance, we don't go that route at all.
For someone like me now, I have, in my mother's family especially, we are big. They don't skinny people around us. When I look at my cousins, I'm always conscious of, hey, morale, careful. Now, one of my daughters, she has my body, my physique. She has my hips, she has everything. And she eats. Like, she can. I'm going to a party on Saturday, and they gave everybody chicken and chips at the restaurant. That I assumed that it was too much for the kids. My 2-year-old child finished all the chicken, like almost a half a chicken. And I'm like, so scared. So like, should I start giving her only salad? And you give her salad, she says she doesn't want. Give her carrot, she does not want. It is the chicken that she wants. In that kind of situation, what do I do to control so that she doesn't get, because she's chunkier than the other girl. The other one is skinny, that she has her father's features. But this one, I'm really worried.
What about the volume? You don't deny her chicken, but you control the volume.
Well, you even the style of the chicken.
Chicken is not even
it's not fattening.
It's as fattening as rice and beef. All those things.
So if for instance, in her case, she skinned the chicken and she grills it and maybe or boil without frying and all that. Chicken. She's eating healthy
potato
now.
chips. There's
plantain.
There's
Please, I want to say something.
There's samosa. Those ones, they eat those things.
I want to ask about putting a child on a strict diet. And advantage and disadvantage of it, because in trying to keep your child within a size range, I even know someone that she herself got conscious of her weight, and maybe because of her friends are looking good, she said, I'm not eating, I don't want to be fat, I'm too fat. And she's just 10 and she's looking so skinny. I'm wondering, the parents can't even do anything. She just says, I don't want to be fat. Everybody in my school says I'm fat, and she's lost weight and she's still not eating. What do you do? How do you control putting on a diet and the side effects of putting on a diet?
Fantastic.
That is another medical problem altogether.
Anorexia.
Yes, that is true. Anorexia nervosa, you're not fat, but you feel you're fat, doesn't eat, gets ill, really. There's a lot of psychology in this matter. Somebody, a psychologist, child psychologist, has to come in to work with that child.
Okay.
But do you agree with me that...
wait, let me take a quick commercial break and I'll take your question now. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes, YK, you're going to ask.
Yeah, I was just going to say, isn't it true that this obesity is really a rich man's
Sickness.
Let me finish. You abuse me if you like. A rich man's sickness. Because I've never seen any poor person fat.
It's kwashoko.
I've never. It's kwashoko I see. I don't see any poor person that the child is fat. It's only rich people. That's always a.
It's not a problem. If it's rich people here, so what?
But there are also people now. Rich people like us.
So I'm only asking, is it true or false?
Have you seen, since you're a doctor, you've seen other cases?
To a large extent, obesity is a disease in Africa. But certainly there are poor people who are obese for the simple reason of the genes that we mentioned earlier.
I've never seen.
Oh, there are them. There are. There's what we call now double burden of disease. When I went to medical school, we were told that, kwashoko happens in Africa. Obesity happens in Europe and America. But we are beginning to have more and more cases of obesity here. So we now have a double burden. Kwashoko is still there, and obesity is now.
Let's take this Baja from Benue State. Baja, good morning. Are you there?
Hello, good
Good
morning.
morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Benue.
Yes.
I want to speak about the president's trip
Okay. Go ahead.
to abroad at this point in time.
Yes.
You know, my view about it is what is bad, regardless of whosoever does it. We are living in an era where morally upright characters are in a gross short supply. So, to me, to this end, someone like President Buhari, whom we all score very high in the aspect of moral uprightness, would allow himself to stand so low so as to be seeking medical care abroad under the disguise of 10 days vacation is something I must, with all sense of purpose, discourage and condemn. You know, if he has a 10 days leave of duty, why not spend it here in Nigeria? Say in one of our beautiful countryside resorts, Obudu is there, Eket is there, and a whole lot of them, to encourage other public officers who would want to emulate him. But then he, as the president and the father of the nation, who would hold a very high estimate to say, okay, just for year or that kind of image they are spelling that he has.
All right. Yes, sir.
Go abroad. Really, it's not the best at this point in time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your call.
Doctor,
Sorry,
ear infection, it can be really, really painful.
Very.
But entering the plane, won't it make it worse?
Worse, yes, under pressure.
The pressure in the chamber is controlled. So that's not really the point.
It's not like the economy you take. This is presidential jet.
What you just said about Africa, known for kwashoko, and then Europe, known for obesity. Now, with the current trend of pizza joints going round the place, things that we never used to have, ice cream, pizza, all the junk food, and that is now becoming prevalent in our diet now, and that's what we use to show off that yes, we are taking our children out and all that. How would you advise parents? What's your advice? Should it, because I know people that it's like an everyday meal for them right now, because I want to give my child a treat. If I want to give my child a treat, what should I be looking out for?
Okay, fine. That's the reason for the double burden of disease we have. It's the rich people in Nigeria that do it. In America, for instance, the rich people don't eat that junk food.
It's the reverse.
It's the reverse. So it is the poor people in America
that have obesity.
It's true.
So what we should then do is emulate the correct thing. Give the children, you can still give a child a very good treat on a good diet, devoid of excess fatty food, devoid of sweetened drinks and all that. That is the way to go. Vegetables, fruits, these help.
So it means that for us that are doing pizza and all that, it means that we are having poor mindset at waiting.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
No, you see,
because it's a poor man's food. Where
how
we
do I
are
put it?
from
Somebody said, I think they said it was Mugabe. A cigarette is a roll of tobacco with fire at one end and the fuel at the other. Let's not be the fool at the other end of it.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask about those that are already obese right now.
A cigarette, a roll of tobacco with fire on one side and the fuel at the other side.
Okay. Yes.
Someone is already fat, or a child is already fat, and the parents right now are struggling to put the child on a diet and introduce exercise. What else can they do to
Help the child.
help that child out?
They may need a professional, you know, a professional dietitian. And then it's not just to say that you are doing exercise. How much of it is the child getting? Mind you, for a growing child, we don't prescribe that the child should lose weight. We prescribe that the child should gain no more weight and grow into that weight. Don't forget that a 10-year-old should naturally weigh less than a 16-year-old.
Yes.
So if the child doesn't gain much more weight between 10 and 16, at 16 would have grown into the weight that she already had. So if we can get enough exercise done, get our child off the computer and television to do exercise. Swimming particularly. And getting an expert. If it goes beyond what just a dietitian will deal with, getting an endocrinologist and so on. Yes, that's right.
Endocrinologist. That's Dr. Yemisi, the lady that came.
All right. Yeah. So, because I know someone whose child is pretty obese. He's a computer game freak. He's always on computer games. So I can advise her to just get him more active. But some kids are just plain lazy.
Buy him trampoline.
Plain lazy. They just want to sleep. They just want to eat. They want to be bothered. So because of that, you need an expert, right, to help through that.
You need an
Not fall in
expert.
love with football. By the time they run around the field every day, they probably would lose some weight.
Like my brother's daughter, she's very chubby, but she's only 4. So, and she loves food, but then she can run around. She runs. In fact, her energy makes me tired.
Okay. But when you talk about lazy children, my sister's son, for instance, when others go out to play, he just likes to just sit by my side and let us be watching TV. So is it that you now have
He's
to,
not
like,
fat now. He's not obese.
Yeah, but the way he eats, he has a very healthy appetite. So do you advise that once in a while, maybe I run with him since he wants to stay beside, or how do you encourage
Run
them
with him
to?
inside
No,
the
like
house?
carry him outside and let us take a walk or something. So that's how you can encourage them,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I think we've learned something that
Yeah.
don't stop a child from eating, right? But increase the activity. You can let them eat and eat the right options. And let's not emulate the wrong things abroad. Let's emulate the rich people abroad and eating healthy options, not the pizzas, the Chinese. Because na poor man they chop Chinese for abroad. And here, na rich man they chop Chinese for Nigeria.
So someone is asking a
Yes,
question on
tweets.
Twitter.
Yes.
It says, please ask how long it will take to revamp hospitals. How do we change the mindset of staff
That's not
who
what
will
he
manage
said. Sorry.
equipment?
No, another tweet, please. Another tweet.
You say you control fat intake when you cook homemade food. Salt is equally too bad. That's from Telma Chuku. Someone else says, let's be... Oh, okay. That's
How
about
do
it.
children exercise in a school with 4 rooms divided with plywood? Yet no allowance between fence and building.
So you're looking for schools. Find a school that has a compound where your
On
children can actually
weekends,
play
take them
around.
to playground.
Or weekends, take them to
Or
playground.
a school that has an option. We go to so-and-so place to exercise once or twice a week or something.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We have to
we
round
have-
up. That's all we can take on the show today. Join us again tomorrow for another exciting episode. See you then. Bye-bye.